Okay, welcome to a video of what I like to call a messy pour. It's kind of like a bloom, but it's a real messy placement of the paint. So, and I might just quickly add the reason that I do make up names for the different techniques and styles is I haven't seen the exact same execution. Similar, but not the exact same execution. And when you guys are scrolling through my channel, I want you to know what you're going to get when you see messy pour. I could have just called it a hairdryer bloom, but it's missing that part of the technique that is the layering. So I think a hairdryer pour or a hairdryer bloom is just a little bit too broad of a term. I'd be quite happy to be scrolling through a channel and know exactly what I'm going to see. So with my channel, if you see bloom, it's generally a really standard puddle pour with the blow on top from the lungs. My messy pour is a little bit more sporadic and random with the paint placement. It's kind of like puddle pour, but we want different colors to go out different sides a little bit. So I'm sort of going to do my messy first color here, and then I'm going to get even messier and only go over that one a little bit and spread that out that way a little bit. Next color is going to come out this side, and so forth. And there's just sort of a lot of paint in a really kind of large puddle. So blowing from the lungs might not work so much with the messy pour unless it's very small, because you really want to try to spread your top color as quickly and as far as possible. So I use the hairdryer for the messy pour mostly, especially on something that's this big. The whole point of the messy pour for me myself is to have different parts of color on different parts of the canvas or the panel, the surface. So I don't want all the same colors everywhere. And with the messy pour, if you only overlap one or two colors onto each other, when you hit it with the hairdryer, you're going to get like blue out here, green, sort of orange, red. Hopefully, fingers crossed, a few of them overlap and you get the mixed colors, but in general, it's a way to try to make your composition a little bit more separated with the colors. What else have I got? The swipes are pretty general. I just sort of call them swipes. The trailblazer is a name I gave to my pours that go in a straight line, but there's a continual stream of air. I should have called it the Mexican wave, because when you see the paint come up like this, it's kind of like the paint's doing a Mexican wave across the surface. But the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, it looks like a trailblazer, because it's in a continuous line. You're not taking that air off. And it's just blazing a trail through the middle of the paint. So I thought that was the perfect term. So if you see a video of mine called a trailblazer, you'll know you're going to see a straight line, continuous blow, turn it around, continuous blow up the other side, and then I hope for the best. So yeah, I pretty much call all my tilts a hope for the best, because you never really know with fluid art if it's going to come out how you thought. I think, which is why we all love it, right? Okay, let's get messy with the messy pour. So I've got my hairdryer ready. It's a good idea to have it all hooked up, ready to go. Have the setting that you need to switch it onto. I chased a salon hairdryer that has a cold switch, not a cold button, like a cold shot. That's not good enough, because there'll be some heat remaining with the cold shot, and you don't want any heat at all, because when you sort of hit the surface of the paint, any heat at all is going to congeal it, and it's going to wrinkle up and just be, yeah, gross. So mine I just keep on 0 here, which means no heat at all, and here's the speed setting, so you've got medium and fast. So yeah, I usually just do the medium, because it's definitely enough air. and fast enough, but takes a little bit of skill with the execution, with using the hairdryer to try to get a single messy pour to bloom and to spread it on a surface this big. Pretty sure this is a 14-inch round panel. So when I come down over the top with the hairdryer, I'm sort of going to come down like slowly until I see the top layer start to spread out over the rest. And then instead of keeping on going down and going right through the base white into the board, I'm just going to go around to the sides a little bit quickly and try to get the last bit of my top colour to shoot outwards and hopefully get a few more cells before we tilt. So let's see how that goes. Now I've said all that. Come on, work! Okay, let's just do it. Base white. Always use way too much base white on these rounds. Don't know why, still to this day, after all these paintings, I won't bloody measure anything, will I? I can't stand that sort of thing. It's the same, I don't read instructions either. I'm one of those people. Just always think it's a waste of time, and I know better. But then I pick it up to start to tilt and I think, oh my God, I could have had a round this big. So I feel like that's a good amount because I do want it to get down over the edge of this without tipping too much white off. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got kind of a good 1-inch side there. And because it's MDF and it's not actually a timber side, I personally don't like to see MDF. So I want that paint to cover all the sides of this. This board's, if you're in Australia, actually, this isn't a paid advertisement, this is simply just telling you where to get the best boards from. They, theartshop.com in Melbourne, Victoria, is the cheapest online art shop for the boards. Their boards are the best price in Australia, and they are seriously amazing. Yeah, they're the best I've used. So yeah, artshop.com. There you go, free advertising. Okay, so the messy pour is just that, it's messy. So we don't want to get too calculated with our placement of the paint. We just want it to get messy, so hopefully I'll get a little bit more of that aqua colour up there. And it really is a hope for the best sort of technique. It can go seriously wrong, but when it works, it's spectacular. Okay, so that was my golden teal. I'm going to go for the Colour Art Key Lime plus Interference Gold. So I've made my own kind of green gold out of this. I'm going to put a bit on there, then I'm just going to messy it out that way with a little bit over there as I go around in my messy circle. Just going to have a few overlapping the others. So I've just got to be a little bit careful here what colour I put on what colour. I think I'm just going to... I'm not sure. I'm only going to go a very small amount of orange just there. I just don't want too much orange in this one. Okay, so my red, I've got the Carmine, which is Colour Art Primary Elements Carmine, and it's got a little touch of golden heavy body naphthol red in there. So I'm just going to messy that up that way, and probably a little bit on the orange as well. So I'm not going to have any red over here. Might get a little bit, but we're going to keep this side for the pink. But before the pink, this is the Colour Art Bling It Interference Gold. Looks white, turns gold once you've dried it. This one I'm just going to messy over the whole colours because the gold's going to go with everything. And I want that shimmer through the whole painting. So see how it's getting really messy now? Messy, 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 messy. How many times can you say messy? I'm going to finish with the pink, and I do want the pink to be going in all directions because it's going to go nicely with all the colours. Maybe not the green. The green's going to be doing its own thing on the side there, but anyway, we'll just hope for the best with that. Okay, so now my top colour. Whatever your top colour is, you want it to go over the rest of the other colours. So I wouldn't, yeah, I don't know. I've just been doing it the same as the other colours, so just doing a big sort of messy thing, but I think I'm going to pour it this time and get going with the hairdryer really quickly because I don't want anything to happen to this top colour. I don't want it sinking away or disappearing while I'm stuffing around with the stick. So just going to lay it on and go for it. So just enough to go over those other colours, and then I'm going to go for it. Now, when your top colour's not black or white, it does take a little bit longer for your cells to come through. So just give them a chance to develop before you start your tilt. If you see little bits of top colour here like this, well, that didn't work because there was nothing underneath it, but oh, that didn't work either. Anyway, forget that. Okay, I'm just going to wait for that. It's not quite as many cells as I thought there would be, but what do I do? I wonder if I should. Something's not right. I wonder if this will even come out okay. Waiting. I just think something's wrong. I never, ever, ever, even if I think something didn't happen right, I would never scrape a painting at this point. Always give them a chance. You always give them a chance. You don't scrape until it's finished. Because sometimes they can surprise you. I don't think this is going to be one of those times, but there's something not quite right with my top colour. Didn't really want to cell up, but it has made a few kind of separations there with pockets of larger cell areas, so I'm just going to stay positive with that. Get rid of a bit of that green that I said I wanted before. Just going to see if I can get something out of this. Instead of doing cells, this painting has kind of done really skinny lightning strike type skinny lacing. It's very different and weird. Something went wrong, but look, it might not be scrapped. It might end up okay. I don't mind if there's no cells if the colours are fabulous, but when you get shitty colours and no cells, yeah, it's a bit of a, there's not much you can do but get rid of it and clean up and then just pretend that none of it happened. Otherwise, depression can sink in. We don't want that. So this is an odd painting. I don't think I've ever done one that looks quite like this. It's a little bit weird. It's just kind of, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I know I don't like it, but I'm trying to get to know it a bit better and like it. There's obviously something not quite right. in my mix, which is rare, but it happens. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Well, I don't like it, but I'm trying to pretend I'm on the fence. Louis likes it. I don't know. Do I like it? It's just weird. Which way are you looking at it from? Oh, I don't like it. Does that mean I don't show you? Or should I just show you anyway and say here's one I don't like? Might be comforting to some people that aren't having much luck. They might think, well, no, I don't feel so bad. I guess, yeah. Look, it's sort of growing on me. Sometimes all it takes is a coat of resin to change whether you like something or not. I just don't know whether or not this one's too far gone beyond that. I've like got no cells. Weird crazy blue lacing that's like, I'm just seeing like scary kind of ghost faces all in there. And now I can see them, I can't really unsee them. It's all just a bit wishy-washy. I'll tell you what, I think from this way, I don't actually mind it. So I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to dry it and put resin on it. And I changed my mind so bloody much that I'll probably end up keeping it. Oh dear. There's no use zooming you in on that because there's not really much to see other than the scary faces in here. But nobody wants to see them up close. Okay, I like the colours, so I'll keep it. But yeah, definitely not what I was thinking that was going to come out like. But you can see the idea of pinks and blues here, the reds kind of over there, the greens here. Gives it a little bit of composition instead of red, green, blue, pink, gold, everywhere. So yeah, I got that bit right. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. And so I'll have another crack. So I'll see you next time for that one. Bye.